Hi everybody, this is Punk World Javi from Punk World, and today I'm here with Rowan from Third Space. We're going to be doing an interview about Rowan's newest project. Rowan, would you like to explain what this project is? And because it's not exactly an album, and it's not exactly an EP,
No, yeah.
but if you would like to take
It's
over and explain.
yeah, no. So it's pretty much just like it is a compilation tape, I guess you could say. It's kind of just a personal archive type thing where they're just songs
Oh
that
yeah.
like I wrote or slash made slash produced by myself or with other people that
Oh yeah.
I would like to put behind me as I work towards new material. Um and I'd rather it just be out there than sit on a hard drive or like the Wayback Machine forever, because most of it is was already out at some point. So I was like,
Oh, I
may as well
see.
just put it all in one place as like a just a personal sentimental thing, and then just never think about it again.
But no, for sure. I get moving on, and I can definitely feel that listening to the album. You can definitely feel the evolution going through it if you listen to it in order at least. I know the songs they are in chronological order, right?
Yeah, chronological with like release slash like the creation of them.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, and throughout the whole album, like you do have a style, and it's very apparent. And it's kind of cool seeing that style kind of like evolve. You fill your songs with so much just like just so much, you know what I mean? It's so full all the time.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, no, I try to do a lot, sometimes too much.
No, but it's like it always sounds great. Like for example for like oh yeah, it was Red Van that we were talking about. Not to skip all the way towards to like the end of the album, but for Red Van, I really do feel like I am in like an environment or something. Like I'm in a space when I'm listening to that song for sure. Like
Hell yeah,
that one
bro.
transcended me almost. Um,
Hell yeah, that's sick.
yeah, but talking about that style and like the evolution, I was wondering, oh yeah, how do you feel like this project should be listened to? Like if somebody were to, cause I feel like if somebody were to hit shuffle on this, they'd be like, oh, like this is like a sick like hip hop beat. You know what I mean? Like, and your hip hop beats went like rough. They went fucking hard. Um,
Yeah, no.
and then,
There, as a result of some poor mixing, but
but
I was like 17 slash 18, so what did I know?
I mean, insane nonetheless. They go crazy hard.
Thank you, bro.
You know, if someone were to hit shuffle, they would find a song like that, and then maybe the next song being something like Tugboat or something more like ambient and like
Right, yeah.
yeah, which is crazy to think about because there's like so much contrast in between the songs, and I was wondering if like you had a vision in mind to like if whether you were thinking of listening to them in order, the audience listening to them in order, or like listening to it just however they wanted to, or like environmentally,
Yeah.
just like where they're at while they're listening to and how they're listening to it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's what it is like it's just a timeline sort of, cuz yeah, if you like listen to it, you can kind of see like, oh, he was going like he's making hip hop beats at this time, and then he like moved on to something different, and then he goes to the next thing and the next thing. But honestly, generally, like it's just kind of like, as I was saying earlier, it's just an archive.
Mm-hmm.
There are honestly songs on there. I won't say which ones that like I don't even never want to hear because I
Yeah,
just like don't even really like them that much.
I see.
Yeah, I would say it's for like a fan to go listen to it.
Mm-hmm.
I would say it is just kind of like an evolution of like my production style. Um,
For sure.
and like I feel like especially with Tugboat, I think Tugboat was like a massive like turning point
Oh, for
with like
sure.
my production style,
That's
because that was when I like
the main one that I
really,
have.
yeah, that was when I like really weighed into like textural aspects and like pads and like really trying
Yeah.
to like create as many harmonies and like
Yeah.
synth runs as possible without it feeling too muddy or anything like that. Yeah.
And I mean, and Tugboat going into that is almost like the perfect in between going into Red Van, because I feel like how you were saying like it was the first time that you were like playing with these things. I feel like you can really feel like the transition from like your first time playing with these things and then kind of fully getting like the idea in Red Van. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's one thing about Red Van is that that song has gone through a lot of different versions.
Mm.
The very first version I made, um it ended with like this crazy like ambient section, which I still kept
Uh-huh.
some of it there because the way that it ends, like in the state that I put it out in,
Oh yeah.
it has like the pad with like there's like the three layers of music box type instrumentations that just
Yeah.
kind of like phase out. And that was like in the original was that plus a bunch of like crazy textural like pads going on. Um,
And that's crazy to think about because Red Van already has so much like in an appropriate manner, of course, but it has so much like texture and like as I was saying, like environment to it. You know, it's like
yeah,
this consistency of like fullness to your songs that like definitely stands out in Red Van. It's almost like as I was saying, like you're there in it. Like I've never felt like I've been in a song before. You know what I mean?
that's cool as fuck,
Very
bro. Hell
very
yeah.
visual. Like I can like my mind goes very visual when I listen to your music, definitely, and from beginning to end too. It's kind of crazy. Um,
That's hella cool, bro. Thank you. That's like such a dope compliment.
yeah, no problem. I mean, I did really enjoy listening to the album, and like going back to your you producing for Space Quest. Um,
Yeah.
it's like it's crazy to think that you went from that to this because like it's just such a different style of music, but at the same time with the Space Quest stuff, is that kind of like how you learned a lot of like your technical stuff, like electric stuff, or were you always like
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Especially with, I will say, especially with the song On One,
mm-hmm.
I did like a ton of like random synthesis
Oh yeah.
and like piano roll massive scores on that
Oh yeah.
song.
And
That was when I like,
no, you
what
could
were you
go,
gonna say?
sorry. No, you could go.
Well, I was just saying like that was when I was really like trying to go super hard in terms of like MIDI writing and
For sure,
like
yeah.
just doing shit like that with synthesizers.
No, yeah, and it's crazy because like bringing since you brought up on one, um, it's I was gonna say the switch up at the end, towards the end, where it kind of turns a lot more ambient is kind of like I was gonna say since on one I think might be the one before it goes into Tugboat. I was gonna say like that switch up is almost perfect to go into like your more ambient music and stuff like that. Which was like I think I noticed in the song once it switched up to that more ambient like sound towards the end,
Hmm.
it was like, oh, like I know my boy's gonna go crazy in these future ambient songs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, yeah.
No, exactly. And it's like it's and if I'm not mistaken, sorry, um I think I heard you did do some vocals on Space Quest, right?
Oh yeah, no, I did. I did the hook on Man on the Moon, which is
Mm-hmm.
so funny.
Yeah.
Um that hook is so silly. That was like prime. That was just like max goofy high school like fucking let's make a song.
No,
Let's
I
make a
mean,
song.
I feel like we've all been through it
Um
though for sure.
yeah, no, and then I did a little vocal stuff at the end of I Don't Know the Rules, which I'm still proud of to this day. That's like one of my favorite things I've done.
No,
It's
that's
very
dope.
like it was very me.
Oh yeah,
Um
for sure. I
yeah.
I definitely agree because not to bring up the project that you're like working on right now with Superkai. Um,
Yeah.
I just being there with you guys, I can definitely see that it's crazy seeing your style, like things that you do, um, that I noticed listening to this album. You know what I mean? Um, like seeing things that you do like live. I see like I kind of hear like going on in every now and then like in this album, and it's just kind of crazy to see those parallels and see that, that you do have a style that's kind of developed and you know what you're doing within that style. You know what I mean? Um,
Yeah, dude, that's cool as fuck. Damn, that's cool to hear.
yeah, and I mean, it was really cool, like just listening to the album and like realizing that, Um,
Yeah, no, that's cool, bro.
but yeah,
Hell yeah.
that's awesome. So your vocals and your journey, I mean, with vocals and stuff, very much did start while you were producing for Space Quest and stuff like that. Um,
Yeah, definitely recorded vocals specifically.
yeah, and like going into that, you had vocals on Tugboat and stuff.
Well, actually, the singing on Tugboat is not me. That's my
Not
friend
at all.
Jinho. Yeah.
Oh my God,
No, yeah, that's the boy.
dude.
And that I can like talk a little bit about that song because it's the story
Yeah,
behind it
yeah,
is
for
kind of
sure.
like funny.
Yeah, we can.
Is Tugboat is it's a cover song. The original song is by Galaxy 500.
Oh, I see.
Um, and it sounds way different. And he like texted this is during the pandemic, like towards the beginning for sure.
Uh-huh.
And he was just like, "Yo, I want to like cover this song."
That's fire.
And I was like, he literally was just like, "Yo, I want to cover this song," and I was like, "Hell yeah, bro! Like, do you want me to like produce it for you?" And he was like, "Yeah, bro. Like,
Dude.
can I just like send you like sung lyrics and then you can like just go crazy?" And actually, this, as I like said earlier, like Tugboat was like definitely a huge turning point for my production style because that was like the first time when I was like really going crazy with like textural pads and like
Oh
just
yeah.
kind of that style of production. And I really like partially owe it to him for just like letting me do whatever because he literally was just like, "Yo, like I'll I'll like," he just sent me the lyrics and then he was like, "Yeah, just go crazy." And
That's
I
fucking
I
fire,
was
dude.
like, "Fuck it, let's do it." And so I did, and that was the result. And I am very very proud of that song to this day.
That's
That
awesome.
is, I feel like it's so like cool. Also like there's sampling aspects of it
Yeah,
that like
I heard that
I don't
sample
want
in
to
the beginning.
say.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's like sampling aspects of it, but that are like just I like to this day. I'm like, bro, I'm such a G for adding that.
No, and you are. I mean, I noticed at least like I noticed the one in the beginning for sure. Um,
Mhm.
and I was like, should I bring that up? But I mean, and the sample, the video game sample that you use in Man on the Moon,
Oh
towards the
yeah,
end. Oh my God, dude, that had me giggling like a girl.
yeah, nah.
That was fire. But yeah, no, your sampling is very much like it's so cool, dude. The way that you
Thank you, bro.
naturally sample into, especially your style of music, um, since you did like start off like with doing like a lot of space quests and stuff, all that like electronic stuff going into like Tugboat too. There's like it's crazy how well you can mix the sounds. You know what I mean? And especially in like Red Van, um, going into Red Van where you do have vocals, right?
Yeah. That well, and then the boy Nate Ben Bunko, he does the rap verse.
Oh yeah. That shit was it, dude. It was so fire, dude. Yeah, just the style combination and stuff like that. The introduction to like you doing vocals and stuff like that. Do you think was that one of your first you released Red Van, right?
I did when that came out in 2021, yes, and then
Yeah.
I took it down.
Oh, I see. Um, with Red Van, was that one of your first tracks that you released like almost completely with your own vocals, or did you have some prior tracks that you were already kind of experienced by this time?
Um, I think yeah, that was like the first one that I put out that was just like me doing like the lead vocals. First, yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy because I mean they're done really well, and I mean, was that hard for you, or was that just something that kind of came naturally from like past experiences, or did you have more or less like trouble finding like being comfortable singing on a track, like being the lead?
Let me think about this for a second, cause I would like to say that like I was comfortable.
Hmm.
Just because I've always sang, like I grew up in like cover bands and like that kind of like just
Oh,
in
for
cover
sure.
bands, doing lead and also backing vocals, and I've always been comfortable singing. However, like I mean, to this day, I still am like when it comes to recording vocals, it's like a, I don't know. It's a process, and like it's not something that I've like that I'm always 100% confident in. And for sure, when I was doing vocals for that song for the first time,
Yeah.
I definitely, I don't remember, but I can guess that I was probably like, it was a daunting experience.
No, for sure. And I mean, it definitely can be like that's I mean, releasing a song all on your own, like producing it from producing to vocals is just such a crazy experience. And
Yeah, bro.
especially in like a vocal heavy
Yeah.
song. Um, I mean, it's just crazy. And do you remember doing any layering on this one, or was it just like were you just doing straight vocals?
Um, I, I didn't do any comping. I'm pretty
Mm-hmm.
sure I just kind of like tried to one take everything, and
Oh, I see.
or at least just like not have any other takes, just like keep doing it until I got it. But yeah, I definitely did layering in that song.
Oh yeah.
Especially for like the hook. I did like a lot of, that was one of the first times when I did like vocal stacks.
Oh yeah,
It's
vocal stack.
experimenting with that.
I was gonna say.
And that was like,
Oh, sorry.
what were you gonna say?
Currently, you do have like your vocal stacks. They're just amazing. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, thank you, thank you. Yeah, no, that was like on the ones that I did on the hook on Red Van the Turn On was
uh,
like, like that was probably the first time when I was like, when I did them and I was like, oh damn, like pretty good at this.
that's awesome and that's amazing. And you can really tell too. And then like using them in your future songs and just like currently, um, I was gonna ask, how do you think your, I mean, like your transition into your current style, how do you think that happened? And did you like notice it, or was it like a kind of like a slower process where it was kind of something you realized later on?
Um, yeah, I mean, it definitely happened within like when I did Tugboat. That was when like I started adding a lot more like, pads, and I
Mm-hmm.
started really trying to like emphasize like spreading out like harmonics across like the fucking sound space that I create within a song.
Oh yeah.
Um, Red Van was definitely like, that was when I started doing more shit with vocals, and I realized like what my range could actually be in terms of like what I could do with my voice.
Yeah.
Um, um, Hold My Hand, that was like the first time when I had just like written a song on the guitar.
Dude.
I just like wrote it on the guitar, and I was like, all right, I'm okay. I finished writing the song on the guitar, and I have a vision for the production, so let me just produce it. I made Hold My Hand entirely in like 2 days,
And
because it was literally just because I had already written it. So I was like, oh, all I need to do is like lay it down. And so that was like, I want to say like my songwriting to production.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's where that kind of happened, was with Hold My Hand.
Yeah, and
Um,
it's crazy because you can definitely notice that because with Hold My Hand, it's like it starts off with like an acoustic guitar, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like you can tell, just with the way you're singing and just the song in general, along with Song for a Dog, those were both very like emotional songs. Um,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Message wise and both like just environmentally with the sound and everything. I would describe them, I have a note here, as beautiful songs. um I really
Oh,
like,
thank you.
yeah, I really like those two songs. They're very, like I said, full, I would say full of emotion. Were you doing that when you were writing the music? Were you thinking of very emotional things, or was it more or less kind of
Yeah,
a process?
kind of. Hold My Hand is a little silly because
Mhm.
it sounds like it is, but that song is really just like, I wrote it at a time when I was like, oh, like I feel like my self-esteem is like in a really good place right now, and I'm ready to like open myself up to like other people and make friends.
Yeah.
And that was like the idea, where I was like, oh, I'm gonna mask this as like a kind of lovey-dovey type
Oh, I
song, but it's
see.
really just like, oh, I'm like ready to be vulnerable to friends
I
right
mean,
now.
but
Like that's kind of the,
that's very powerful still, I think.
no, yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true.
Um,
It is. But yeah, that's like, it is sort of like a that masquerading as like, oh, like I have an infatuation with like a I have a little crush, but but no, I was just like who want to be friends type shit.
Who want to be friends? Who want to be homies? I see, Roan.
Yeah,
No, but that's
yeah, exactly.
so. Did
And then,
oh sorry. Oh yeah, go.
well, I was just gonna say, then "Song for a Dog" is that is a very, very. I mean, I definitely wanna. That's I titled it like demo because I want to like record that song in like a very grandiose way in the future with like a ton of um just like I want to record it when I'm at like a higher level of just like everything, re-record it, potentially like have like horns and shit like that. I want it to be very like very high production value, and at the time I didn't I like couldn't do that, and also I was on a little bit of a time crunch because I think I don't remember the month, but it was like my mom was about to go visit my grandma. And the dog that I'm talking about in the song, the song that the, the dog that the song's about, that was fucking tongue twister.
No, you're good.
Is was my childhood dog that I grew up with, and it was my grandma's dog.
Oh
And
yeah.
so my mom was about to go visit my grandma, and I was like, oh, I want to have like this song prepared for like when my mom goes to visit my grandma. So I kind of like rushed it a little bit.
Oh,
Um,
I see.
which is another reason why I want to like re-record it in the future. But I'm very like, but yeah, it's a very like very emotionally charged song. Absolutely.
No, and for sure. I mean, I think you can definitely tell because that kind of style of music and stuff like that. I have a friend who really likes it, and when I heard that, um, I could just tell that this was a song that he would really like just because of how like emotional it was almost. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah, yeah.
And I just had to send it directly to him because I mean, I feel like the message too, he could definitely relate. You know, and
That's
it's
what's
like
up, bro.
something there's something about that song that I was just like, this is definitely like, it's very unique within the album as well. So it's just very like, it stands out.
Yeah, no, I agree. It definitely does. Like, I mean, the as a compilation, it kind of is. It's very like random as fuck. Like everything is like you said earlier. Like you go from like a hard as fuck hip hop beat to like something
Yeah,
like Tugboat. But that song definitely in particular is like out of left field, and that's yeah, it's mostly because like I said, like yeah, it's a song that I wrote that I didn't in particularly want to like produce because I was like, oh, well, I would like to produce this in the future when I can do a lot more with it. But I was just like, I wanted to do it for my grandmother, and
no,
so I just like I whipped some shit up real quick, you know.
yeah, and I mean like, it's definitely, it almost, I mean, I think it's a very good song, but I can almost see how grand it could be towards the end with the ideas that you're telling me. Um, it's like the vision is definitely like there, you know what I mean? And I can definitely feel that emotion there still, even without all those instruments.
Yeah,
And it's like,
yeah,
man,
no,
I
that's
just can't wait to like hear it with all that like, featured.
yeah, no, I think it'll be really cool like in the future when I do like end up re-recording it
Yeah,
and like getting this studio orchestra that I eventually want for it and that sort of thing.
yeah, and
Like
then just the
hearing
studio orchestra
that
too.
version,
Uh-huh.
yeah, and hearing like that version compared to like the version that's on this tape, I think will be like very like interesting because people are like, damn,
Almost like two
like
different.
the vision was there. Yeah, almost like
Yeah.
two different songs, but like the vision was there, you know?
No, and I love those kind of things when you can listen to a demo and listen to the finalized product and see that, that the vision was always there. It was just a lack of resources or something like that. You know what I mean?
Right? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But no, that's very cool. And then, oh, I guess I can go right into this question. Um, or I guess we'll talk about the last song first. Make that little man proud. It's
Yeah,
so. I mean, the message is there. I love the
yeah,
message.
no. I mean,
What do you think of the that being like the outro? You know.
Yeah, I mean that's just like the latest one that I like had written.
Mhm.
Or like the last one I had written that I was like, all right, I just want them to be out there because that one I started out making like EDM.
Oh
Like
yeah.
that was like I started when I started production, I only made like EDM. And
Yeah.
that was like the the main like melody for that song I made in like 2016 on like
Dude.
FL Studio. And I always was like, oh, that's a pretty good melody. And then I like there was like it was like spring break of last year or no. No, yeah, it was spring break of last year when I just had like a week of like free time and I was at a very like I was up like mentally. I was very up at the time and I was like, man, like I want to do some like real self-fulfillment type shit. And so I like
Yeah.
just opened that old FLP and I was like, oh man, like should I like make this into like an EDM epic just for like the
Dude.
fun of it
That's awesome.
because I knew that I could and I was
Yeah.
like I don't know. Like I mean, and then I was like thinking about there was like a meme that was like it was like one of those like hope post type memes where it was like oh like don't don't be too hard on yourself like
Oh,
cuz think about yourself like when you were like a child, make that little man proud. It was like
no,
one it
yeah.
was and I like saw that and I was like I'm going to make this song that's what this song is going to be called and that's going to be the message and I'm just going to make it like
Yeah.
the fucking just all over the place like EDM song and
No,
then
and that's fucking awesome though for I mean,
yeah.
and even naming it that, it's like so I feel like at least like cuz I've seen that same like meme before or like the format.
Mhm.
I've like literally posted reposted one on my story, I think. But like I feel like that's definitely something that speaks to all like literally like just dudes out there, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
feel like
yeah.
every just dude sees that and not men, not women, not yeah,
Dudes.
dudes, just dudes see that and they're just like,
Dudes.
yo, that's so true. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. And it's something that I very much think about often where I'm like it's one of the reasons why like I'm not too hard on myself is because I know that I'm doing a lot.
Yeah.
Um like making music is hard. And I know that like I'm doing a like making music is hard and I know that I'm like doing a good job.
No,
But
exactly.
sometimes I like forget that and I need that reminder where I'm like, nah bro, think about what you could do like 8 years ago and then think about what you can do now and think about like how he would feel.
No, literally. And I think why that, well, you know, the title, that saying is being seen like around social media so much is because like it really does speak to people. And I feel like it is like, even though some people take it as a joke, it is like a really good like motivator.
Oh,
You know,
absolutely.
I
Yeah,
feel like
no,
people
an
do take it to
excellent
heart,
motivator.
even if they are like, "Oh, that's silly,"
Yeah, because it's just like, bro, like we were all bright-eyed little kids.
No, like literally everybody.
So it's like think about that and like it's still there, you know what I mean? Like there's
No,
no like it never like you're the same fucking piece of meat and DNA. You just
exactly.
grown.
That's what I like to think of it as. But yeah, no, like separating yourself in that sense and kind of seeing yourself in through that lens is like very much something that pushes a lot of people. And in this song, I mean, the what you were saying, the evolution of it too, is just kind of, from how old it is to now, it's almost like the perfect title
Yeah, no,
or the original
exactly.
melody
Yeah,
at
no.
least. Um,
Yeah, no, it's yeah, no. It's like it was like funny the first time that I found it cuz I was like,
uh,
"Damn, bro, like I was really like sitting on like a shitty laptop and I made this like pretty good melody and I'm like,
yeah,
let me like just finish it. So let me just like go crazy, see what I can do." And I will say like it's not like cuz I'm not because I started off doing EDM
mm-hmm.
and I don't really do EDM that much nowadays, I'm not the best at it. Like I mean, I'm like
See,
pretty good, but I focus way more these days on like I guess like more hip hop indie rock based stuff,
mm-hmm.
experimentation type stuff, not really on like that 20 2014 to 2017 EDM sound that I was like going for on that song.
Yeah, I see.
Um,
And I mean, I know what like era you're talking about too, which is like, that's always like
yeah,
so awesome to see that like kind of evolution or transition from one thing to another.
yeah,
And I think in the
cool.
sense like this, it being EDM and, the first songs on the track or on the project being, like harder hip hop beats, the EDM track at the end almost does like make it again like a perfect loop into like the beginning of the album. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying because it's like finishing because it's like oddly like even though it's the last track, that is like what I started doing.
Yeah,
You know
exactly.
what I mean?
And especially with that story, that just almost solidifies it.
Yeah.
But no, that's fucking sick. I mean,
I think like that song,
uh-huh.
I would honestly like thinking about it now. I think that is a song that I would actually be interested in like completely remaking slash remastering in the future.
Yeah,
Um,
that would be fucking awesome.
with like a totally crazy new like sound choice and fucking
Yeah,
maybe even key everything. Maybe I'll even change it
so
structurally
dope.
too, but that's for
Uplift.
like the yeah, that's for like the future though.
Dude, it'd be crazy in
Right now,
28 years, just like, yo.
make that low man
Sorry.
proud part 2. That'd be
Sorry.
crazy.
I just sneezed a second time.
Oh, bless you, bless you.
No, that would be fucking crazy though. Make that little.
God bless your soul, Lavi.
Thank you, Rowan. Um, no, but that's awesome. I just well, we've gone through the songs, but I still have a couple of questions for you. Um, just a little, a quick question, speed run almost. No, but I do have a little bit of
Ooh.
a smaller question. Um, what's your favorite song from your earlier works and one from, more recent works, later works? Um, just a song that I guess you've always kind of liked, and then a song that you just really like right now.
All right. So, for sure, I think my favorite song from this project has got to be Tugboat.
Mm-hmm.
Just cuz it was just like there's not a single part of it that like I would change.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah,
Other than like the mixing and
I
like
see.
the leveling of it, but that's just because like I don't know, that's one thing I will say about this project is like it is objectively mixed poorly. It's unmastered. I was listening, it's kind of funny. I was listening to like to one of the songs and then I like went to like a song that wasn't on it and the song was like way louder and I was like, "Oh shit."
Uh-huh.
Like but, that's just the nature of that's why it is what it is. It's just an archive. It's not supposed to be taken seriously. It's just like a little compilation of the old stuff that I did so that I can look towards the future. Um
I see.
but Tugboat, yeah, Tugboat is fucking
Goated.
that was such like I killed that shit.
No, and you did. That's
um
awesome though.
and
Very
then
impressive.
song right now, oh, there's so many to choose from.
No, right? Color wheel? No.
Yeah, no, it's gotta. I have to. It's gotta be Fresh Parchment, bro. That song is just. That
Fresh.
song is
I guess
like.
we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, no, that song is. Whew, that song is not. That shouldn't be allowed. It shouldn't be. Jason
No,
and I should not be. Yeah, Jason and I should not be permitted to release that song.
definitely. I mean, being there, seeing that process. It's just you guys have been working on that song for like days that I've like came by. You know what I mean? Um.
Yeah, nah, that dude, fucking crazy. I checked last time Jason was here. We worked on it briefly on Friday evening,
Uh huh.
and I looked at like the project files like stats. Bro,
Dude.
we have worked on that song, or at least like the project. We've been in the project file working
Oh.
on it for
Yeah.
50 hours.
Dude, that's so. I forgot that FL shows you that. Oh my fucking
Bro,
god.
50 hours. That's
That
like,
is crazy. I don't think I've ever been on anything for that long, dude. That
dude,
is
yeah, I'm like,
dedication.
I don't even know. Dude, there's fucking some of my favorite video games. I don't even think I've played them for that long.
Damn, dude. I mean, and that's just for you guys to see that there is so much effort going into this the banger of this song. This wasn't easy.
Nah, it was not. It is definitely the hardest song. It was definitely like the hardest song to like. That's the thing though, it kind of wasn't because we really the beat itself was kind of made like pretty seamlessly just because like we were in such a flow state. And
Okay.
also like the lyrics, they've been coming pretty nice. It's
Oh
just it's just like that whole song. It's been a beautiful process to make that song.
no, yeah, and I definitely agree with you there, bro. That song is just it's just gold, bro.
Thank you, bro.
But onto the next question, more about Roan himself. What do you think, inspired you to? I mean, I know you talked about how you wanted to just kind of put these songs and look away, but was there kind of like a spark to why that happened, or was there, a
Um,
motivator?
the main motivation is because like my parents are always like, or specifically my mom, she's always like, when can I listen to this song?
Oh, I
Or
see.
like, why can't I listen to this song anymore? And I was like,
Oh,
all right, I'll just like fucking throw them on a tape and like put it up.
I mean, and that's really sweet, and I mean, that's a really
Yeah,
straightforward answer too. I mean, that's awesome.
and also just because I really like a chronology,
Mm-hmm.
and also I just like really, I don't know, there's something about like having, because if I didn't put them out, I would always have in the back of my mind like, oh, maybe I can like remake them or like re rejuvenate
Oh, I see.
the
Yeah,
the
yeah.
the vision, but I don't want to do that. I want to like look forward because I've like in everything that I've done on that album or on like the compilation tape has been like all of the methods that I use for production, the songwriting methods, recording, everything, effects, everything. I've like
Fucking awesome.
leveled up astronomically
Uh-huh.
since making all that stuff, and so I'm like I just want to like put it there as like this is I don't know. This is like it's like the calm before the storm of
I
Color
see.
Wheel and what comes after.
And just what's gonna be coming next, exactly. I see.
I cannot stress enough like the compilation tape, bro, is not even like it's not even like a fraction of what is to come, bro. Dude, I drafted up like my next project like
Uh-huh.
on like my whiteboard today.
Yeah.
And like bro,
Oh yeah, the
it's
whiteboard.
it yeah no it's gonna it's yeah no I like erased it all and then I drafted up the next project which is currently untitled
That's
but
so exciting. I mean, and that's such a good. I
yeah
mean,
and I'm
that's
like bro
yeah, that's awesome.
shit's gonna be nuts. The idea that I have for it right now, I can talk
Uh-huh.
about it a little bit. The idea that I have for it right now is it's gonna be a continuously it's gonna be like every song goes into one another and I'm
Oh.
potentially gonna have I don't know. I really want to have them all in the same key, that
Oh,
being
okay.
D major,
D major.
like all the songs being in D major. But
Fucking sick.
there's there's one song, there's two songs that I really want to put on it that are not in D major. So I think I'll just have them just
Uh.
all go into each other, and then most of them be in D major.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
in some like key switch,
yeah,
some
key
appropriate
switches. Yeah, I'll
some
just like
appropriate key switch in there. I think you could flow it in there very well.
yeah, exactly. Like it won't be hard. But that's the idea is yeah, all the songs are gonna go into one another, so it's gonna be homogenous, kind of like the first two halves of Color Wheel, and then
That is so cool.
um, but they're all gonna be all the songs on it are gonna be sound entirely different from one another.
That's fucking sick. Okay, that's really exciting to be. That's
Yeah,
something to prepare for. You know what I mean? You gotta listen. You gotta listen up to the Third Space Instagram account, you guys. Because
yeah.
you gotta be ready for this. Because nobody's gonna be ready for this.
Nah, for real though, bro.
That's
It's
crazy.
crazy. Have you heard Character Select?
I've heard you guys mention it. I don't know if I have heard it yet.
I will be playing that for you at some point.
That
It is
I'm excited.
it's probably gonna be the outro to
Mm.
the to my project, and
Oh,
it
nice.
is I'm it's crazy. And it's also such a perfect outro.
Okay, awesome.
I gotta show it to you next time.
Yeah, and I mean, With that being said, do you have anything else um that you want to talk about music wise, you know, whether it's Color Wheel or upcoming projects that you'd like to say some few words on?
Um, I mean, yeah, Color Wheel, it's coming. April. That's, I mean, that, yeah, no, that's, I'm so excited about Color Wheel because
Dude,
a lot of, I mean, we'll probably do a Punk World Color Wheel interview, maybe even a few. I mean, you're doing the whole fucking
I mean, for sure.
short film, so.
I'm so down to, you know, provide whatever for you guys. I mean, I'm really excited for the project and just all these upcoming projects from Third Space, including like yours and then this album that you're talking about. You guys really do work
Mm,
really fucking hard to be consistent, at least. You know what I mean? You guys are
yeah,
just
nah.
like, and that's all that's needed. You know, it's crazy how much of a workload you guys can, like, cause you know you guys are some of you guys are still in school and just like producing this stuff,
Yeah.
going off. I'm just very impressed by you guys.
Yeah, I mean, it makes it all worth it. That's what Jason and I were talking about have been talking about, honestly,
mhm,
is like, it just like the prospect of like being able to like make music,
yeah,
like any woes, any qualms with life, like it makes in the back of my mind. It's like, you know what? It's all right because I know that I'm gonna be working on like Color Wheel this weekend with Jason.
no,
You
exactly.
know?
And then just having those scheduled days where you can work on those things, it's just
Yeah.
so beneficial.
For real, bro. Yeah, no, and it's also it's just it's like motivating oddly because it's like I'll be during the week I'll be like fucking frustrated or struggling with like some schoolwork or some
Yeah.
shit like that. And then I'll be like, you know what? Let me just get this shit done because I know that like I'm gonna be working on Color Wheel soon.
Oh yeah. No, yeah, that's definitely the best motivator there.
Yeah.
100%. Well, I mean, I guess the only question I have for you left, Rowan, after this whole interview is how do you feel about the whole experience of releasing this album? And what are your kind of final words to this interview about this album?
Um, I will say you know, I'll just say make sure you know what this project is.
Mm-hmm.
And like just know that it's, you know, it's it's just an archive and that the shit that I'm doing on Color Wheel and me and Jason are doing on Color Wheel is like it's gonna be crazy. Color Wheel will be crazy. Like I'm so excited for it.
No, for sure. And I mean, absolutely, I can vouch for that. That is a true statement right there. I mean, I'm excited to hear it. I'm sure everybody else is. Um, unless you have anything else to say, I think this is a goodbye to I mean the punk world audience.
Yeah, goodbye, Punk World audience.
Goodbye, guys. Everybody have an amazing day. You have any socials you want to drop or anything? Any?
I'm at but Roan refused on everything.
Oh yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, we're signing off. Catch y'all later. Goodbye.
Yeah.